Yo, let's go, buddies. Where are we going? I don't know, but we're going somewhere.
I know where we're going. Going back to school. It's back to school Thursday out here in Los Angeles anyway, but I'm actually still in Lake Tahoe.
Ooh.
But my pain in the ass, I mean, my kids started school today. So the rest of the world,
Back to school.
to prove that I'm not a fool.
Dad, I'm not a fool.
The rest of the Fox Sports Radio Nation, enjoy the summer while you can.
I mean,
the routine has changed for the West Side.
I got my backpack on, my shoes tight.
Back to school.
I hope I don't get in a fight. Billy Madison style. My kid got Miss Lippy.
Guys.
She was really excited.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Excited for a new school year, but excited to announce a brand new YouTube channel, our daily show, Covino and Rich. You could stream it live, watch it live on our new channel. Sign up now, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. If you're on YouTube already, just search Covino and Rich FSR. But follow and enjoy. Send it to some friends. Get involved. And thank you for being here today, back at our normal time. The past 3 days, if you missed our show, catch it on the podcast. We were in for the Dan Patrick Show, and we'll be in again tomorrow. But good to be here. Hope you're having a nice week. It's Thursday, which means old school when 50 hits. And we got lots of NFL, lots of baseball, lots of nonsense to talk about. And Rich.
Hold on. Someone just passed me a note in class. P.S. I'm horny.
P.S. I'm horny.
Oh,
wow.
Another Billy Madison reference. Isaac, was that you? Isaac Lowenkron on the updates. Hey, Isaac.
What they don't know is I pass you guys that note every day.
I know. That's how I know you're here. What is this surprise?
So we got the very sexy Isaac Lowenkron. We got Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. Danny G super producing at 877-99 on Fox. Before we talk about Jalen Ramsey and Denzel Washington, and I know you have a misery rating you want to get to, Rich.
Yeah.
Real quick, right quick, just a random question.
Yeah.
It is the first day of school for kids in Los Angeles. When you were a pumpkin pie haircutted little kid on his first day of school with his little backpack and his brand new sneakers, all excited for the new year, what was your favorite sporting game to play in the playground or in gym class when you were rocking your penny on a Throwback Thursday? Because for me, honestly, it was the Nerf football, two-hand touch until one little nose-picking kid broke his finger in grade school, and we weren't allowed to play ever again.
Oh, I was going to say I'm a traditionalist, Covino. I feel like some old school kickball, a little bouncy.
But would you play like before school or in gym class or both?
Recess and gym class.
Yeah, I mean kickball. Yeah, do you want it straight or bouncy?
I want a little, just a little bouncy, so I get some air. You know.
You know what's funny, man? I like my women like I like my kickballs. Little bouncy,
little bounce, little bounce.
Yeah, haven't changed. Haven't changed much. But when I was a kid, man, and we'd be waiting to go into school.
Nice kickballs.
You know when you would wait there, like to go into class, we would be allowed to play Nerf football. Nerfs were big in the '80s, man. They were blowing up. And then one kid got hurt, and that fun ended. So that was my fun, aside from kickball. You know what? Gym volleyball was always a lot of fun,
Can I give you another game I feel like I logged many hours playing? And could also be considered an adult game nowadays. Asses Up. You guys ever play Asses Up?
Oh, we called it Butts Up.
Different meaning as an adult. But as a kid, I would say I'm in Iowa. Did they play Asses Up?
I don't know that one.
In some parts of town, they called
it
suicide.
Rich, it goes to show you we haven't changed much. Still love Asses Up, and we still like it bouncy.
That's true. But no, Asses Up.
Little bouncy.
Some called it suicide, where you throw either a tennis ball or a blue handball.
Yeah, the heavy blue handball.
Against
a racquetball.
Against the concrete wall outside the school. Now, you'd field it. If you bobbled it, you then had to dart to the wall, and you had to touch the wall before someone pegged you with the ball, or some played you had to hit the wall. Then if you spelled out ASS, you had to get up there like a criminal with your hands against the wall, and every one of your buddies had one shot to throw the ball as hard as they can. Right, try to hit you right in the back, like
That's what I'm saying. They allowed kids to play stuff like that before school started. Not anymore. And can I throw one more honorable mention out there? This was more of a gym class thing for us. I grew up in Union, New Jersey. So our town revolved around baseball, football, things like that. We didn't have a lacrosse team. We weren't that type of town. We weren't like a rich town in that sense. So if we ever played lacrosse, it was in gym class with the pennies and the plastic equipment and everything.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, it was a lot of fun playing that in gym. I was all county gym class. I don't know if people know that, but I took it very serious, and I'd go back to history class with a sweaty ass. That's just how it was.
I always thought it was funny, like, speaking of first day of school, gym class, two things stood out. How smelly. That room, I don't know if your gym had the same thing. It was like a room where they kept the volleyballs, the kickballs, old pennies. It smelled like a hobo's ass. Like, it was honestly, I used to look around like, is there a hobo sleeping in here?
There's actually a candle named after that. It's called Rancid Hobo S. Yeah.
But there was that room in
Can you please say drifter?
I'm sorry, drifter.
Drifter Hobo S.
It was like it smelled like a drifter's booty, and you put on these pennies, and then I thought the other crazy thing.
Dude, those pennies held scents from the early '60s, man. They were never washed.
Let me give you two more memories on a Throwback Thursday. Then we're going to get into whether or not you're allowed to be miserable as a sports fan. I'll explain.
Go ahead.
Two more memories. You'd play as a kid for hours. Gym class, recess, and your teacher would let you have like 2 seconds at the water fountain. Like, 1, 2, next. 1, 2. Now, every little kid's got their water bottle, and they're hydrated all day. When we were kids, we were at a water fountain like a dog, like trying to get one little lick of the fountain. And the gym
Rich,
teacher would yell at you.
Is that where you were introduced to Ultimate Frisbee, too? Before, like, a bunch of nerds in the early 2000s started playing in leagues and things like that. Is that the first time you played it in gym class? Because that was fun, too.
Never in gym class. That was a college quad thing. I remember people on the quad in college, like, Ultimate Frisbee. So,
all right.
Memories.
So, on this day, I just want to say I used to love playing the playground before school, two-hand touch, Nerf football. As an 80s kid, that was so much fun, dude. And I wish all the kiddies and all the kiddos throughout the nation a great, great school year, especially my kid. She's a sophomore now. And I just hope she has a good one, because if she doesn't, I got to deal with it.
So the memories I wanted to bring up, like you said, pennies, that room in everyone's gym that smelled like hobo's ass.
Yeah.
The limited water you were allowed. Meanwhile, now, like I said, every kid goes to school with like multiple water bottles. Hydration. And the third thought, you sort of touched on it. When you were in junior high or high school, and not to sound gross, but you were going through like those early stinky stages of puberty where not every kid wore deodorant yet. And that's when you would sweat huevos and then just go right back to social studies class.
They stink.
Like
Go back to class all sweaty and stinky.
You'd go run a mile around the track. You'd stink, and then you'd be like, all right, now go to biology. Like, what?
Yeah, if you had any sense of athleticism or pride, you took some of the games serious because it was fun.
And the funny part about that, I will admit, because I was guilty like everyone else of this, how many times did you take those stinky gym clothes, you would put them in a supermarket plastic bag, put in your locker, and wear them again?
Yeah, they smell like Fritos. Yeah, I smell that. Fritos.
Smell that?
Smell
Doritos.
that? Smell that?
Like Dipsy Doodles.
Happy first day of school. Hopefully you had a great night. Hopefully you didn't have a New York Mets winning 6-0, yet finding a way to lose type of night. I don't know what team in baseball should be the most discouraged now. The Dodgers, who are letting first place slip away. The Mets, who stink. Your Yankees, who are now like almost on the outside looking in.
Dude, every time your Mets lose, the Yankees lose. They're horrible.
I know. So I bring this up because my buddy Mike, who I went to, he remembers these days, a guy I went to elementary school, high school, and college with.
Who?
My buddy Mike Lozita.
Never heard of him.
Lives in upstate New York.
Date? You went to every stage of life together.
Do you have a buddy like that?
No.
We played Little League together, and we also went out to bars in college together. Lifetime friend. He coaches soccer and baseball for his kids, lives in upstate New York. I bring him up because he's like a numbers guy. He's one of those guys where he'd be like, hey, dude, I punched some numbers in the percentage. Like, he's a sports numbers nerdy guy. And my buddy Mike used to try to do an algorithm like, what person do you know has the worst winning percentage based on their teams? That was like his thing. Like, if you root for, the Marlins, the Miami Heat, this, that, if you add up all your teams, like, who's got the worst luck? Like, who's really the saddest fan? And my buddy Mike, is he on the line? Did he call up?
Yeah, he's on the line.
What's up, Mike?
There's no doubt in the world it's me. up, guys?
Mike, welcome to the show.
Hey, buddy.
Mike, give everyone your teams, because you used to take pride in being the saddest fan. Give everyone your major teams.
I take pride in being the biggest loser. So we start off with the Mets. Okay?
Fair.
Miserable. Then we have the Islanders.
Islanders. Fair.
Yep. Then we go to the Jets.
Jets.
Wait, when you say Islanders, do you mean Haku and Tama? Are you talking to wrestlers?
Not the wrestlers.
Because they were pretty good.
And then as far as, so you did hockey, basketball, Mike. Add that in.
Basketball. Yeah, you figure, well, you're smart enough to be a Knicks fan, right? Nope, Nets fan.
So our buddy Mike is Mets, Jets, Nets, Islanders.
Well, I could see why he was inspired to figure out if he was the biggest loser based on his choices, because every team he roots for is terrible. So I could see the train of thought, like, what are the chances that I could be rooting for the worst teams in all sports?
So when people bitch and complain like, oh, my team stink and I'm bummed, I'm a mad fan, Mike used to do this math for us, and yesterday he goes, yo, what I've been doing for years, ESPN has now put together what they're calling the misery rating. You plug in your teams, and they give you a rating on how miserable you're allowed to be. Which is
out of 100.
Out of 100. So 100, you have 100 would be the most miserable fan. And Mike, what is your score?
So with those four, you guys won't be surprised to know that I am a 89 on the misery rating. 89.
89.
Out of 100.
So
now,
is Mike allowed to send this to his wife to at least justify his moods?
Yes, I think you could. I think you
wouldn't
could.
give me the time. There'd be too many eye rolls. I wouldn't get any sympathy there.
But it does explain a lot, right? It's like, yo, man, how can I really be that happy when I'm rooting for a bunch of losing teams like that? Like, I'm at an 89. Give me a break.
So I had Mike. I said, Mike, you have it open. Do you mind if I throw you the crew here at Fox Sports Radio? And Mike was kind enough to run the numbers. And I did everyone in the room. I didn't do you, Sam, because I don't think it registered anything Iowa, because I don't think that's in the equation. But Danny G, I want to start with you. Now remember, 100 is the most miserable fan. Danny G, as you know, is a guy that roots for the Raiders, the Lakers, and the Dodgers. Danny, not too shabby. You're a 48.
Oh, okay.
48. So you're allowed, like,
the Raiders are bringing that percentage up for sure.
Oh, yeah, because the Lakers and Dodgers have given
three
you
championships in the last 5 years between the Lakers and Dodgers.
Right.
Now, Covino.
Thank you, Lakers and Dodgers, by the way.
Covino, you're allowed to be a little
Raiders,
more
pick it
miserable. You're allowed to be a little more miserable than Danny, because I popped in for you Yankees, and since you've been in L.A., you've been a Lakers fan. You claim them enough.
Yeah, for sure. If there's any team in the NBA or any team that I've adopted since being in Los Angeles, it's the Lakers for sure.
So you're at a 51.
Okay. That's not bad, but you only put in 2 teams, right?
Yeah, you can put in as many as you think, necessary for you.
Okay.
Now, for me, Mets, 49ers, I'm at a 78.
Wow.
So
Is most of that the Mets?
I think most of it's the Mets, but the 49ers, they're getting close but never winning. There's misery in that, in expectation. So they have a whole equation. So if you want to plug in your teams just for fun, know that there's an app now. You know how I love to play with that playoff simulator, Covino?
Yeah.
Now the misery simulator.
Well, here's the 2 takeaways I got. We got to give our boy, who's been talking about this for years on the Covino Rich Show, Mike Lazito, the proper credit. He invented this stat before ESPN made a whole little algorithm.
We give
to
you
figure
credit,
it out.
Mike.
So you get credit here on the Covino and Rich Show. Mike Lazito, everybody, has been trying to calculate his own misery for years. And then it makes me wonder, Rich, is there a combination of losing teams that would equal out to 100? Like, what would equal – exactly. Like, what would be the ultimate losing combination?
Well,
so Danny, just for reference, how bad the Raiders are really bringing you down. You're a 0 without them.
Wow.
So if you take the Raiders out and leave Danny with the Lakers and Dodgers, he's like no ability to be miserable.
Yeah, but if you factor the if you put in the fact that he works for Ben Maller too, it probably goes up even higher.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Just
Misery.
look at the Raiders. If you just look at the Raiders and nothing else, it's a 96.
Well, Pete
So,
Carroll's going to turn that
football
around.
season.
Wow,
Yeah,
man.
So
Come on, Pete.
I've been sitting here while you guys were talking about this, trying to find a reasonable list of teams, right? So you look at Chicago, you got the White Sox, Bulls, Blackhawks, and what am I missing?
Bears.
Cubs. Oh, Bears, right. You're a 72.
Still not as bad as you. You know who's
Still not as bad.
know who's right there up with you? I put in our boss Scott because I know he's always bummed about he's Vikings, Twins, T-Wolves. He's at an 89.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It makes you respect the fact that he's a very positive guy even more.
So I guess the lesson here is that there's an equation you can now put your teams into. So one of your friends is like, yo, my team stinks. You could actually mathematically prove who has the ability to be more miserable. So if your buddy is rooting for teams like the Mets and
These
the
are
Jets,
pro teams, though, right?
These are pro teams.
Yeah.
Right, like Iowa has been winning like a lot of their games for the last 45 years. Like they're not at bad. They're just winning a national championship in football is really hard. It's like you're facing off against like 100 other teams.
Yeah, and you root for Caitlin Clark, I was saying. You got
Well,
things-
but I grew up like rooting for the Phillies. They won a World Series in 2008. I like the Dodgers. They won a couple World Series. I don't have a pro basketball team.
No,
I like the Packers.
You know who has the least
Packers
ability?
Packers won a Super Bowl like 14 years ago.
You know who has
Hey,
the
Rich,
least?
what if you factor in I have a pain in the ass teenage daughter and child support and stuff like that?
Hold on, let me put this in. Ex pain in the ass ex-wife, teenage daughter. Oh, you've just jumped up 25 points.
Oh, yeah, I knew the misery meter would go up if I included that.
Let me
somehow.
just throw one more in, and then we'll get into other stuff on the show. But I just thought it was interesting that something we've all probably speculated and imagined, like, who has the right to be the most miserable fan? Mike, who runs this place?
Who?
Mike runs
Mike,
this place.
who runs this place,
Different Mike.
has no ability at all. No ability at all to be upset. Mike, would you believe? Mike might think the Panthers are bringing him down, but Big Mike is a Lakers fan, Dodgers, L.A. Kings, and Panthers. And would you believe the app says you should be elated, 18.
Wow, yeah, because the lower the percentage, the greater choices you've made as a fan. That's pretty good. I like the misery meter, I believe they're calling it, on ESPN. And you can see if your friends and colleagues really do have reasons to be annoyed and frustrated.
So essentially, if you're just killing time,
incorporated.
If you're just killing time around the office and you are honestly just counting down the hour until you have to go home, pop in all your teams, pop in your friends' teams, and really see who has the right to be more miserable. And by the way, Mike, good talking to you, buddy. Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
love you guys. See if you could beat me. I'm a loser.
I'm a loser. Mike, do you think after last night, you think our Mets are going to slip out of the wild card in the next couple days or what?
They're terrible. I can't even talk about it.
Mets are only one game up on the Reds right now, which is wild. So all right.
I know, and again, you're a fan, you're not on the team, but it does affect your mood.
Loser.
And it affects your confidence and psyche a little bit to be rooting for losing teams all the time.
Fool.
It has to, because you don't feel like a winner when your team sucks.
Yeah.
And I know that because when your team wins, you feel great. You feel good. So it does add to the frustration levels, and we give Mike Lazito all the props and all the credit.
Yeah.
We have the actual inventor here on the Covino and Rich show. How do you like
Because
that?
I remember he would always do this. So, hey, are you miserable? Do you have the right to be miserable? Yeah, go play along and do it yourself. And by the way, just a reminder, we are streaming live every day on the Fox Sports Radio YouTube page. We got our own page. I said it yesterday. I want to test this out. Let's see if we get a little spike spot. Everyone right now, in this very moment, when we're about to take a quick little break, go to youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. Hit the subscribe button. I want to see if we get a little spike by the time we come back. All right?
Unless you're
Little jump.
driving.
No,
do
if
it
you're
later.
driving, you can
Yeah.
do it too. Just be careful. Hand the phone to your
Pull
passenger.
over.
Yeah.
Pull over.
No, it's a
free.
cardigan.
It's a cardigan.
It's a cardigan. But thanks for
By
noticing.
the way, hold on, Rich. Everybody has a group text message with old school, high school buddies or college friends.
Yeah.
Send it to your group message and tell them, hey, there's a good show. Just hit subscribe. Check it out. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Again, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. And we got plenty to get to. We're going to talk a lot of NFL today. Jalen Ramsey is in the news, making a transition from team to team, and there's an angle there. We're going to go old school today, give away some stuff. A lot coming up right here on Fox Sports Radio. Covino and Rich.
Okay, let me stop you right there. The Mets suck.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready? Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations. That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable. He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger,
Bolder.
better.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. I take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct. 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it. Great song, I was Sam.
It's really not, but I told Sam to play it. I asked, I'm sorry, we don't tell Sam what to do, but I asked politely for him to play it because I feel like it went with our discussion, and I wanted to point out how terrible this song was. I really did.
Frustrated Incorporated.
Soul Asylum 1995. It's all about the misery meter today. ESPN's misery meter, something that we've talked about in the past, is now an official algorithm on ESPN. You put in your teams, and it tells you how miserable you're allowed to be based on the percentage. And our boy Mike Lazito invented that. Anyone that leads, or should I say leans into their misery, I think is a bad personality trait. Like, I sort of hate that. Like, I don't mind the sort of, aw, shucks, I root for a loser attitude like Mike has, but Mike's a great guy. A lot of people let their misery define their personality, and that's what this song's sort of about, and that's why I hate it even more. Like, listen to this line. They say misery loves company. We should start a company and make misery. Frustrated Incorporated. Like, how corny is that?
Wow, poetic, philosophical and poetic.
It's so corny. Frustrated Incorporated. Like, no thanks. I want no part of your misery, and I don't want to start a misery company with your
Frustrated
misery.
Incorporated.
Well, there's
like that.
there's a lot of NFL teams that are hoping. Like, Danny, I was talking about you behind your back, only because you're in the next room. But when Big Mike was in here, I'm like, look at Dan. He's got his Raiders gear on. Every year he's so optimistic, but it could turn to misery real quick. Who do the Raiders play week 1 of the NFL?
The Patriots in New England.
Yeah, but Danny G doesn't let that misery define his personality.
Nah, because he's a happy guy. He's a happy guy.
I think that's a winnable game, by the way.
I don't mind it affecting you, but don't ever let it define you.
When I was in my really quick, Rich, when I was in my early 20s, I pissed off my co-host of the morning show I was on because after a bad Raiders loss, I refused to do the sports report on our Monday morning show.
Just refusal.
Yeah, and the general manager of the radio station, he pulled me aside after the show because he heard the co-host complaining, and he said, "Dude, does Al Davis pay your bills?" And I said, no. And he's like, so don't let it affect your personality. The players after the game, whether they win or lose, they're at a steak dinner, still celebrating life, being happy, and you're at home being miserable, more miserable than them.
I would have been like, can Al Davis pay my bills?
I had that thought yesterday. I saw Devin Williams in the Yankees dugout, like playing slap ass with one of the other relievers. Like he's smiling, having a great time. I'm like, this guy is having the worst season ever, responsible for half of the Yankees' misery, and here I am all mad about it, yet he's having fun. I'm like, we take it too much to heart,
Do you mean
and
your
we got to ease
closer?
up.
You mean your closer who's making tens of millions of dollars, smiling and laughing, and meanwhile you're frustrated, incorporated?
Exactly, yeah. So again, we understand that it affects you. Don't let it define you, and check out your misery meter.
I'm going to check out my misery meter, ESPN. What's up, Iowa Sam?
I was just going to say, Rich, didn't you bring that up that Juan Solo, he's smiling and laughing too much and having a great time?
Well, to me, I don't mind, but I have fans. I have friends.
Despite their
I have like Met fan friends on my group chat that when Juan Soto is in the batter's box, like chuckling and like giving a little elbow to the catcher and joking with the umpire, hey Blue, and he's smiling. I have fans, the friends that are like, why are we okay with this? I'm like, what do you want? Do you want Juan Soto to have a sad look on his face until the Mets turn it around? Like, you got to play loose, man. And remember, these guys may not even care as much as you do sometimes. I got to ask Isaac Lowenkron. Isaac, I don't even know your teams in my mind. Are you like Rob Lowe? Do you just wear like an NFL hat?
No, for me it's the teams that I have logos on the checks I get. So I live and die with those teams, like the Chargers, Angel City FC of the National Women's Soccer League. But that's actually a great question because my team growing up was the LA Kings, and I was so traumatized by them losing in the Stanley Cup Finals in 1993, 32 years ago, that I'm like, it'll be less heart-wrenching to be on the broadcasting side of it because it's really emotionally tough to be a fan.
So are you one of those guys that when you became a broadcaster, sort of put aside your fandom a little bit?
Yes, because there was less chance of pain that way.
Oh, my God. You're like the guy that's like, I don't care. You're like the guy in The Bachelorette that's like, I don't want to get hurt. Yeah. So you just say no.
Yeah, don't run away from your emotions, Isaac.
Isaac, maybe we need to have a therapy session about this. Like, who do you – I assume Dodgers at one point or Angels? You're a West Coast guy, right?
Yeah, Dodgers growing up, Lakers growing up. Oh, my gosh. My team was the Kings, and my total mood and happiness was
emotionally
based, yes.
giving up, though, didn't you miss 2 in the 2000s? And, right? They've won 2 cups since.
Yeah, they win 2 Stanley Cups after they'd been in existence for 45 years. They win 2 Stanley Cups in 3 years. But by that time, I was like full broadcaster. So on the flip side, I didn't put myself at the risk of the pain, but I also didn't have the chance to enjoy it the way I would have had I been a fan.
Isaac's objective. It's called being an objective journalist.
That and he's scared.
Right.
He's scared. I don't want to. He doesn't want to open up to
be
him.
hurt
Don't hurt me again.
He doesn't want to open up.
So, guys, it's Covino and Rich at our regular time. The past 3 days, we've been filling in for the Dan Patrick Show. If you missed any of those shows, that's 3 hours every day. 3 hours of the greatness that you get from CNR. If you missed anything, catch the podcast. Search Covino and Rich, follow the podcast, and, of course, our new YouTube stream at Covino and Rich FSR to watch us live. Let's take a few phone calls, and then we'll talk Jalen Ramsey next. 877-99 on Fox. Who do we got?
Let's talk Jalen Ramsey. Let's get into that, and then because I think people just talk about their misery. I don't feel like plugging people's teams in. You can do it on your own.
Okay, yeah, the misery meter is available now at ESPN. So Jalen Ramsey, again, going from Miami to Pennsylvania, said, now as a Steeler, I got rid of the Rolls Royce, and I bought me a Ram truck. I'm ready. So not only is he ready for the new season and the new team, he's ready to be a full-on Pennsylvania blue-collar kind of guy. And, Rich, we've gone to some Steelers Super Bowls. We've gone to some games in Pennsylvania. We're talking blue-collar dudes with mustaches and Ram trucks, and that's just sort of the lifestyle. So he's planning on leaning into it is the vibe I'm getting. So, again, got rid of the Rolls Royce, bought a Ram truck. He's ready.
So we ask you, do you feel like you yourself are the type of person that lean into where you're moving or living, or do you feel like you bring you there and then that you're just genuinely you all the time? Like, to me, someone popped immediately in my head, Danny, when we were talking about, do you go to a city and make that city your own, or do you adapt to the city? When Mike McDaniel decided to coach the Dolphins, he became like an extra off the set of Miami Vice, like he was a drug lord, like he was a villain in a random episode of Miami Vice.
He became Scarface.
Yeah, so
that's a great example.
Like Mike McDaniel, I think is cool. He's a funny personality, but he let the hair grow. He got a tan. He's wearing capris on the sideline.
As a professional athlete,
showing a lot of ankle. I mean,
or a coach, I think it's smart and good business to lean into that city and win over some fans. And we saw Bryce Harper do a tremendous job of that when he went to Philadelphia, right? He was just like, I'm all about it. We're seeing Russell Wilson do a pretty good job of that now, just he embraced Denver, and we saw him now embracing New York. Like, we've seen him do a good campaign of, hey, man, I'm all about it. And I think you should. I think that's good. And I like what Jalen Ramsey's doing here. So I love when athletes lean into the new city and try to embrace the fans, therefore hopefully getting embraced by them in return.
I mean,
in real life, Rich, I think it's a little different. Like, for me, I don't feel like L.A. changed me much. I feel like a lot of people in L.A. meet me and immediately know I'm an East Coast guy. By the way I act, by the way I talk, by the way I lean. And I think the only thing I really changed was maybe, like, because health is such a priority in L.A., I think you just sort of roll that way, because if I still lived on the East Coast, I'd probably be 20 pounds heavier with all the pizza, the gabagool, and the Taylor ham sandwiches.
That's perhaps.
So I think diet will change you for sure based on your move.
I do think sometimes when you're the face of an organization, quarterback, star player, the easiest thing you could possibly do, is ingratiate yourself to that city. All you got to, Aaron Rodgers, who we love to make fun of, I think we all agreed the best thing Aaron Rodgers has done over the last decade that no one could disagree with was his little short tenure at the Jets. Do you remember how it started? He was going to Broadway plays, sitting courtside at a Knicks game.
Did a great job.
Doing videos of him eating New York City pizza. He bought a cool place in Jersey. Like, he won over New York, and then, of course, the injury and, under-delivering on the field, but he did all the right things leading up to it.
That's where he lost the fans. But he did a good job, again, leaning into it. So there's a few questions I hand here. First, we commend Jalen Ramsey's move. But he's making changes to win over the new fans. He's like, I'm not that Miami guy in the roles. I'm that Pennsylvania guy with the Ram truck.
Can you adapt,
though? Are there changes you've made if you've moved? You could let us know. Rich, do any come to mind for you?
I thought of this because you said something the other day. Our buddy Nico, who a lot of you guys met, he was at our Covino Rich convention, one of our radio buds. Danny G, you get along with Nico great. I with Sam.
I've heard him a few times now. He does mornings in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said that.
I got to chat with him for a few minutes because he's awesome.
Our boy Nico, one of our old school radio buds, actually a guy that was influential in introducing Covino and I. He was always
he brought you two together, right?
He was born and raised in Detroit. But when he moved to New York, he was straight up living in downtown Brooklyn, hipster New York City, DJing at clubs. And now he got a great opportunity. He's the morning guy on a country station. He's like Hop Along Nico with a cowboy hat now, and he dove into country music culture, and he's all about it now. And he hangs with like country artists and stuff.
But here's the thing, though. He's not faking it. I don't like when people fake it. I believe he's a natural chameleon. And he sort of does become that person, and he really does like it.
Yeah, in country, the modern country music is top 40 now. He's a top 40 guy.
Yeah.
So his style works even in that format.
So I'm not saying be a phony baloney. I'm saying if it's happening organically, that's great. And think about it, Rich. What changes did you make? Again, we're from the East Coast, New York, New Jersey. We've been living in L.A. for over 10 years now, well over 10 years for me. Do you think there's significant changes you made now being a guy who lives in Los Angeles?
My tan's a little better. That's about it. I mean, that's really about it.
You're not as pale as you would have been.
Yeah. I think about Keith Hernandez a lot because his great mustache, and he's a Mets broadcaster every day. But, Keith is a Bay Area guy, played for the Cardinals. When he went to New York City, and I brought up Keith a few times because he's a great example of he did not want to go to New York. And it's, you hear about this in all these 80s baseball things. He hated the idea. He was traded. He was an MVP, World Series champion with the Cardinals, and he was traded to the Mets before they popped in the 80s. And he wanted nothing to do with it. He hated it. And then he said, you know what? I'm going to become the guy that moves to Manhattan. And he really embraced, like, the single life as a star player in New York. And what did Keith Hernandez? Now he's one of the most legendary guys in New York sports over the last 50 years.
Hey, Rich, if you did live in Texas or worked for a country radio station like our boy Nico, would you be Hopalong Dickie? Would you be a cowboy hat wearing, cowboy boot wearing sort of guy?
I think, you know what? I think I should do that anyway. You know, let's go to Isaac. Let's think about this more, and let's think of some players that have changed their vibe, so to speak.
The changes you've seen, the changes you've made based on a move.
What up, Isaac?
I do have one addendum to your Keith Hernandez allusion.
Who does this guy think he is?
I'm Keith Hernandez.
Ah, yes.
I mean, he was even in Seinfeld, based in New York. He really dove into, I'm a New York guy.
One of the great cameos in sitcom history by an athlete. Guys, we have a ton of news today, a lot of it involving courtrooms and a lot of it involving the Cleveland Browns. First, the Florida State Attorney's Office today declined to file charges against Browns rookie running back Quinshon Judkins after he was accused of misdemeanor battery last month. A short time ago, a grand jury in Collin County, Texas, has also declined to file charges against former Texas receiver Isaiah Bond after he was accused of sexual assault in April and subsequently was not selected in the NFL draft. Bond announced on social media just a few minutes ago that now that he's been cleared, he is signing with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, Los Angeles Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh announced that Justin Herbert will start at quarterback Saturday against the Rams and play a series or two. It'll be his first career preseason appearance. Finally, Atlanta Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. involved in controversy because of the following seemingly innocuous statement he made during a press conference.
They had a lot of words throughout practice, so I gave my words and just went a little bit too far.
The controversy comes not from those words, but rather it was on the screen on WTOC television in Savannah, Georgia, while they were televising those words, because the graphic on the screen showing Penix's name had a rather unfortunate typographical error, substituting the X in Penix's name for the letter S.
Oh, you mean my favorite quarterback, Michael Penis Jr.? I love that guy.
That's him. Yeah. Sounds like he's on your fantasy team. Back to you.
Good one, Isaac.
Shots fired.
Oh, man. Hey, we got more Covino and Rich. Thank you, Isaac. We're going to talk some more NFL, and we're going to go old school coming up right here on Fox Sports Radio. Covino and Rich. Let's go.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio.
When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy? I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson. Covino loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm gonna go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations. That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate you all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable. He made the right call. You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
Thank you guys for watching us on YouTube, the new channel, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. And, of course, checking out our podcast. Just search Covino and Rich. CNR on FSR. And it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day. It started with pocket pancakes and streaks all the way up to free George Webb burgers for the whole city.
Myers out of the stretch, the pitch, and a swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Wow.
Would you like fries with that? 12 in a row for the Crew. 12-5 your final. The Brewers with their second longest winning streak in the regular season in franchise history.
Yo, that guy's very announcery, huh? 12 in a row. Courtesy of the Brewers Radio Network. That was our Tire Rack play of the day. I would be excited, too, if my team won 12 in a row.
Yeah,
the Mets have lost
nice.
like 12 of 14.
Must be nice.
For
Must be
over
nice.
40 years, Tire Rack's been helping people. Must be nice. The right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free. Backed by free road hazard protection. Convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be. And you know what? Look at the clock. We go old school every Thursday when the clock hits 50.
There's a certain...
Yeah!
What we gonna do right here is go back. Back into time.
Throwing it back for a Thursday. Old school when 50 hits. At 50 after, CNR give you the time capsule topic, and we reminisce together.
Yeah!
So the most inclusive show on radio invites you to call and say, what's up? 877-99 on Fox. Like Rich said, we do this every Thursday. We get you involved. And this story is one that's sweeping the nation out of Van Nuys, California. So out of Van Nuys, there's this guy, this resident called Gary, right? Gary. His name is Gary Boyadzian. Let's call him Gary B.
How about that?
He's been blasting
Yeah.
train horns and
At
alarms and keeping
all hours. This loud-ass
hours of
train
the night.
horn, all hours of the day.
And neighbors, the residents in his neighborhood calling him the neighbor from hell, to the point where it's making national news, to the point where the cops had to come and take him in. So this man's mowing his lawn at 2 a.m., working on cars, banging metal, all hours of the night into the early morning, and all the neighbors, Bob and Bernard and all these people are coming saying he is the worst.
Now,
but there's a flip side to the story that we're going to get to, but it made us think about the worst neighbors, worst roommates ever of all time.
Now, before we get to those, I got to ask, we've talked about this with Dan Byer when he's been here doing the update. When is too early or too late for anyone in your neighborhood to be doing any type of work, mowing lawns, construction, hammers and drills, and revving cars and motorcycles? Do we have a time? Because I'll be honest, the other day, it was a Saturday morning, and my next door neighbor must have been having some landscaping or work done. There were things going on at like 7:30 in the morning, and I almost wanted to be like, if my neighbor wasn't a kind person, and I'm assuming it was like a one-off because they were just having work done, 7:30 on a Saturday, I almost wanted to get it out of my house and be like, well, what the F are we doing here?
My mom used to say the nines, Covino, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m.
Yeah, understandable. But what happens is the police showed up yesterday, right? Because, again, it's such a big deal, and, like, the neighbors have had enough. The neighbor from hell, Gary.
Well, it finally went to the news. They
went
finally
to the news,
reacted because it made the news.
And the police show up, and the LAPD are telling, like, Fox 11 and all the local news outlets that they can't really make a citation against Gary because the officers need to hear the noise and observe the noise for themselves. So he split. The cops came, he was out. But then he did tell a story as to why he's making some of this noise. We'll get to that later. But right now we want you to start thinking about the worst roommates, the worst neighbors you ever had, the things they used to do to get under your skin.
Have you ever had a neighbor that made you move?
Probably. I'm sure there's a lot of stories like that.
Have you ever agreed to a roommate and totally regretted it? Well, let's share some of your weak-ass stories next, right here. Covino and Rich on FSR.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate you all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable. He made the right call. You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say. It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry.
The state attorney's office in Florida has declined to file charges against Cleveland Browns rookie running back Quinshon Judkins after he was accused of misdemeanor battery last month. A grand jury in Collin County, Texas, has declined to file charges against former Texas receiver Isaiah Bond after he was accused of sexual assault in April and subsequently was not selected in the NFL draft. Bond announced on social media a short time ago that now that he's been cleared, he is signing with the Cleveland Browns. Los Angeles Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh announced that Justin Herbert will start at quarterback on Saturday against the Rams and play a series or two. It'll be Herbert's first career preseason appearance. And in Major League Baseball today, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s two-run home run in the bottom of the seventh inning gave the Toronto Blue Jays a 2-1 victory over the Chicago Cubs. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
Thank you, President Trump.
Yeah.
CNR on FSR.
I know what we're doing. We're filling in for Dan Patrick tomorrow again, so wake up with us tomorrow.
Nice.
We're also streaming live right now on our new YouTube channel. Covino and Rich, FSR. Again, youtube.com/Covino and Rich, FSR. And happy to be here at our normal time. But if you missed any of our shows, search Covino and Rich on the podcast. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. We be rocking out. That's what we're doing.
Dude, to think life changes in 3 weeks. I know a lot of kids are back to school. My kids are back today. You're going to see all those parents posting on Facebook, kids' first day. But think about it. 3 weeks from now, fall is going to be here. Whether it's still technically summer, who cares? In 3 weeks, we're going to be talking about Thursday night NFL kickoff. Can you believe that? 3 weeks away. And I'll be honest, no one loves football more than me. But the preseason speculation, I'm not saying I'm not down with it, but I think Denzel Washington sort of sums it up best, and we'll get to that in just a little bit on the show.
Denzel's had enough.
It's so hard for me to really act as if we know anything just from watching preseason reps. To me, it's hard for me to get pumped about preseason as much as I love the NFL. So we'll get to more football coming up. But right now, Covino, there's a story that got us thinking on a Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, Gary B. Not Gary V, not Gary Vaynerchuk. That's our boy. Gary B. Boyadzian is driving his neighbors in Van Nuys, California crazy. And he's mowing his lawn at 2 a.m. He's working on his car. He's banging. He's ringing alarms and blowing horns. The wee hours of the morning. And it's been such a problem that it made the local news, and now it's become a national story. So much so that even Iowa Sam is saying, dude, I'm so tuned into this now. Because now the cops are involved, right? The news is involved. They finally caught up with Gary, and they're like, what's going on?
Yeah, why are you being a jerk, essentially, right? I mean,
and he's saying that the reason for the horn and all the loud noise is because he's being harassed by his ex-girlfriend's father. He's saying his ex-girlfriend's father, I know it's confusing, but this is his story. He shows up later on in the night, and he speaks to Fox 11 or whatever. He's like, my ex-girlfriend's father has been terrorizing and torturing me for the past 20 years. So he says he blasts the horn and he makes all this noise to bring awareness to law enforcement that he needs help and he wants them to do their job. So he wants justice served against the guy that's harassing him. Therefore, he's harassing everybody else. The whole thing doesn't make sense. And Iowa Sam is saying from following this, he believes that the dude is just sort of not right in the head.
I'm even more confused by your explanation.
Just my unofficial opinion. I don't think he's mentally there.
For a little more details, because I unfortunately watched the whole clip, he says that 13 different occasions this girl's dad has sent guys to beat him up, and the police have taken him into custody, arrested him, and nothing happened to the guys who beat him up.
This is why you need to...
Oh, and he smacked the girl, by the way. When they broke up, he slapped her, and that's why he thinks the dad has it out for her.
So he wants justice because the police did nothing and he's in danger. So therefore, he's terrorizing the whole neighborhood, making all this noise every night. And they're like, we can't take it anymore. It's a weird and developing story, but what's relatable about it is that I think everybody has some sort of horrible neighbor story or roommate story because they're calling this the neighbor from hell. That's how bad he is.
Can you beat the neighbor? The neighbor from hell. I could think of all the people in this room. I don't even know if you could think of half your stories. I've thought of a few stories that I know over the last 10, 20 years of knowing you about neighbors from hell.
Well, unfortunately, I moved a lot, and it seemed to be a pattern. You would think I was the common denominator, but I really wasn't. There was one particular story that I remember. I moved into this neighborhood, and I swear to God, we used to call them the Devil's Rejects. That's the one probably that comes to mind to you first. And there was a bunch of, sketchy-looking hillbilly folks, let's just say that. And they did everything in the front of their house. Like, the front of the house looked like Sanford & Son. It was one of those things, right?
It's a nice neighborhood, and they were doing, bench press on the front lawn.
Right. They're working out. They have a whole, gym in their front driveway. And it's like, what is going on here? everything they did was sketchy and weird, and they were really weird guys. But the worst story that I remember from living next door to the Devil's Rejects was, I swear to God, this is a true story. There was a car that came by, and they were beeping in front of the house. This is just one of many stories, but the one that stands out the most. Beeping in front of the house. And I hear all these obscenities and all this shouting and all this back and forth. And I dip out to see what's going on. I'm the concerned neighbor. Like, what's going on? What's all this racket? The Devil's Rejects, my neighbors, come out with their tank tops and their boxer briefs and their beer. And they come out and they start shooting at the people in the car. So I'm not even making
shooting
this up.
guns.
True story. Yeah, they had their pit bulls out.
No, like they were shooting McGavin. I was saying.
Well, I don't know what they're shooting.
They were shooting dirty looks at them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing laser tags. I don't know.
Firing arms.
Yes, water pistols.
Firearms.
No, I'm not even joking you. And again, this is a nice neighborhood in Los Angeles. This isn't the barrio. This isn't some hillbilly town. This is like the suburbs of L.A. Like, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe that these people existed in this neighborhood. And everything they did was just the worst. They would take their garbage. You know, if their garbage was full, because they were always working on stuff, so they would take their trash and fill my garbage cans all the time. And it became a problem. God. What if I need room? I needed room for my own garbage, and I had no room in my garbage cans because they were filling up my garbage cans all the time.
Oh, boy.
Everything they did was a hassle and a huff, and I called them the Devil's Rejects. That's just one neighbor story.
You had another neighbor that would steal your water. Covino would find the guy grabbing
during a drought. During
a drought, would go there and fill up buckets of water from Covino's hose.
Dude, we had him on camera. We had to confront him. Swear to God.
So why are you stealing my water?
Yo, he would come there with buckets, thinking nobody was home, and he was stealing water from our faucets
for
in front
what?
of the house.
For what? To bathe?
Dude, I have no idea. My ex confronted him. She's like, "What are you doing?" And he explained that his wife was putting him up to it. Like, you're a pathetic guy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so that's another story. I always had all these crazy neighbor stories, man, for sure.
You know, our video guy, Spot, might have the worst neighbor story.
Oh, you mean the guy that was upstairs on my balcony? Oh. So I would be sitting in my living room, and we live in Southern California, so most of the year you like to leave the door open, let some air come in, enjoy the beautiful weather. Several times a day. From the upstairs balcony, the guy would come out. I assumed he was a smoker, and all I would hear is, and then he would hawk it over his balcony. And there was one time where, no joke, I was standing on the edge of the balcony enjoying the weather. He comes out, does that. It lands near my hand, right near, spitting directly down on me. And I yelled up at him, and he didn't acknowledge it. He just went back inside.
We actually called him Spot. We used to call him Loogie Guy.
I love
Loogie Guy lived right above Spot, and I remember Spot telling the final straw
Loogie
was
Hauser over here.
Loogie Hauser.
Okay.
The final straw.
Sam, please play a rim shot on your
No,
phone.
I refuse.
Am
I correct in saying, even during COVID, when people were real cautious because they didn't know what was going on, you're sitting on your balcony and he's spitting his dirty ass spit over the balcony.
Really, and we were home a lot, so I would hear this all the time. And I'm not really a Karen or a Darren or whatever you say, but
Aaron,
an Aaron. It was the height of COVID. I actually did report it to the building because it was disgusting. Not that I was worried about germs. I was just more. I wanted to get him.
Spot, we established yesterday in for Dan Patrick that the male equivalent of a Karen is now an Aaron after Aaron Rodgers complaining about the new helmets he has to wear.
Yeah, he's an Aaron. Yeah,
he's an Aaron.
Yeah.
So imagine Spot watering his plants or even having a glass of wine with his wife on his own patio, having to deal with that sound and the visual of the loogies dripping down in the middle of his toast to his beautiful wife. The whole thing was horrible. We witnessed it. It was gross. So based on all these stories and based on Gary, who's making now national news, the neighbor from hell, what are your worst neighbor and roommate stories? 877-99 on Fox. I'll leave you with one more story I could make real quick.
Oh, what about cigarette butt guy?
Which one?
When you lived in Jersey, the person that would put all their dirty ass cigarette butts and make a collection by your doorstep.
Oh, dude, in my bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hundreds of them. Yeah, there would be a guy who would use my bushes as his ashtray, and I had to approach him. Yeah, I'm like, enough of this, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so many of these stories. But in college, dude, again, if we're going to incorporate roommates to this story, I had a roommate that would get so drunk, so twisted, that one time I was in bed with my college girlfriend, and I had one of those. This just adds to the story because it was aggravating for me. I would use one of those, those big, giant, woolly Mexican blankets?
Yeah.
I brought that with me to college. I know. Chicks love it. I know what you're thinking,
Sweet
man.
blanket.
Oh, yeah. I know, yeah. My
Are they
tita
itchy?
gave it to me.
Are they wool burlap?
This is a wool blanket from the 1600s. So I have this blanket on me. We're cuddled underneath. We're sleeping in the middle of the night. My worst roommate was so twisted in the moment, he makes a wrong turn and thinks my bedroom is the bathroom. And let's just say he uses my bed
as his
the
urinal.
toilet. Yeah, as the urinal in the middle of the night. Not only on my girlfriend, but on my precious passed down woolly blanket from the 1700s. But I remember it. I remember it hitting my back, thinking, what? And I turned around, seeing this dude. Swear to God, true story,
Pants
dude.
down. Yep.
It did not end well.
I got two quickies, and we'll go to your feedback. When I was on the East Coast, I owned a house, and I rented out a one-bedroom apartment that was connected to my house, like a separate unit. So you're like, hey, I'll help. This person can help me pay my mortgage. I'll rent out the side apartment. That's when you think everyone's normal, and then you realize everyone you rent to is a lunatic. I had a girl fake cancer to get out of her lease.
Oh, how disgusting.
And
is
I
that
remember
when you
being
think
like,
about it?
oh,
Yeah.
my God, that's the worst thing you could do. And then I had some really quiet girl. She was like, she was a lesbian, and that's part of the story because she's like, I remember her selling herself like, I'm just a quiet girl that keeps to herself. Me and my girlfriend, like just
a simple lesbian.
I'm just a simple lesbian. And that was like her
Just
selling
I'm
point.
just a chill lesbian.
Yeah, I was like, oh, chill lesbian. Okay, cool.
Stop it.
And when I tell you, I come home one day, and there is a lesbian Royal Rumble on my front lawn. There's like 7 lesbians fighting over who's hooking up with who. I had to call the police and be like, yo, it was like, honestly, it was like a WNBA brawl. It was wild.
Yeah, people are tough, man. So think about that, though. If everybody has terrible stories, and we all do, 877-99 on Fox to share yours.
Yeah.
Imagine how bad this guy Gary must be to be deemed now the neighbor from hell. He must be pretty bad, man.
Yeah. So let's take a couple quickies. Then we'll get into some NFL. But like I said, Denzel Washington will explain why it's hard to really talk about preseason football. Coming up, we'll explain. John in Montana, you're on with Covino Rich. What's up, bud?
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Thank you, man.
So years ago, I was living with my now ex-wife in a fourplex, and nobody loves or anything like having to deal with like domestic violence, like neighbors and everything. So At one point, there was just enough was enough, and I went down to like check on them, see if everything was okay. The woman who actually was the victim, she ended up getting mad at me because I was like trying to help. So I'm like, all right, screw this. I'm just going to call the police. And then the police got in there, and like 2 weeks later, they were all evicted, and like we never heard from them. But I'm just like, why not accept any sort of help?
Yeah, no, dude, it's amazing. You wonder, like, how do these people pass the process? But I guess people got to live somewhere. There's trash bags everywhere, bad neighbors, bad roommates. It happens. Spot, in college, didn't you have a roommate that always kicked you out because he was like a sex fiend?
I mean, that's just college.
Like, Spot would always come home, and the guy, it was a big dude. Wasn't it like a big guy on the basketball team, and he like puts a note on the door, like not allowing you back in or something?
I mean, everyone's been there, right?
We've all been there. The occasional sock on the door, but like to not have access to your own place.
Spot
that's
had to
messed
sleep.
up.
Spot had to sleep in the freshman lounge 3 days a week.
What was his name, Spot? I remember that story.
You
You gonna. And I remember, we joked about
you gonna sleep outside.
You gonna.
That's
You
so
gonna.
funny, dude.
Oh, man.
You know what else is really unfortunate, too, is a lot of these neighbor stories. Like, if you're a homeowner and you have one of these neighbors, they're just bringing down the value, bringing down the vibe. It's like if you take a lot of pride in your home and you have that one a-hole who's not keeping things up to par, and he's the guy letting the house go and the neighborhood go. It's like, what an eyesore that you have to deal with, because you have to. He's looking at your house. Your house is beautiful. You got to look at his trash all the time.
And I think it's different if you rent or own your place, because if you rent, leases up, if you're that unhappy, you could be like, you know what, this person's so bad, they're driving me out of here. I'm getting a new place.
It's the worst.
If you own your home and it's like your home where you're raising your kids, school district, a bad neighbor, you're sort of stuck with them.
Yep. It's unfortunate.
So
really unfortunate.
anytime one of your neighbors moves, I know we all have that same feeling where it's like, please have the new person be normal. Please have the new person be normal. Please have, that's a real thing.
Rich, when you're renting in an apartment complex, you're almost guaranteed to have a couple of crazy neighbors.
Yeah, that's true. It really is. That's a fact.
I would rather have, though, a neighbor if maybe they have a blighted property. As long as they're not bothering me, if they're not doing the noise thing after dark. Yes, maybe it's a dilapidated home. I understand it brings down property values. But, like, if they're blasting music, if they're doing weird stuff like this Gary dude, that's where I have a real problem. You're infiltrating my life now.
Sam, I feel like you'd be a great neighbor.
I'm very aware of, like, how loud am I playing music. Like, if I see a package left by our mailboxes, like, I'll take it to their doorstep. Like, I try to be a good neighbor, and I expect other people to.
Like a good neighbor, Iowa Sam is there.
The guy John in Montana, he's a good neighbor. He went over because he cared, and he knocked on the door. And for that woman to get mad at him, she's just stuck in some terrible situation.
Sam, you think that my luck would change, right? I own a condo now. It's like my post-divorce proud condo that I had, and I have. And the day I moved in, the movers ran late. So I'll say I take accountability that the move ran late. And you're not supposed to move into like a condo complex like after 10 p.m. It was like midnight at this point, and they were still moving some stuff in. But that was on the movers, not necessarily on me. There was nothing I could do. I wasn't going to leave my stuff with the movers. Long story short, I'm moving in. It's my first day there in this new building. Some maniac woman that lives there came barging into my front door in her nightgown to yell at me like I was a schoolboy and reprimand me. And I was like, get out of my house, crazy lady. And
great first impression.
Yeah.
My first night there, she called the police on me, dude. Swear to God.
Oh, that got off to a great start there.
Yeah, these are the people that I got to deal with. Never mind the crazy HOA.
People in your neighborhood.
Exactly. So it's a very relatable story, and I think that's why Iowa Sam's been following it, why Danny G brought it up, and why we're bringing it to you here on Fox Sports Radio. Gary, the neighbor from hell in Van Nuys, California. You'll be seeing it on your social media feed, I'm sure, within no time.
Daryl, you're on in Washington State. What's up, buddy?
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you're on, man. What's up?
Yeah, so I had a roommate, man, and basically one of my pet peeves is drinking juice out of the carton. And, like, he was notorious for drinking my stuff, and I come home, and the juice would be drinking. You could see, like, a piece of meat, like, backwash in it. And then we also had a rule. He smoked, so the deal was no smoking in the place. You take it out to the balcony. But I come home, and I smell smoke. And it was like, I wasn't smoking. It's like, come on, man. So, yeah, when you talk about...
No, it's funny. No, Daryl,
so aggravating,
gaslighting you there.
Daryl, it's so funny. And, again, we all have friends or family that smoke cigarettes or weed or whatever through the years. I always found it funny when smokers would try to pull a fast one on you, like, oh, I don't smoke in my car. And I'm like, dude, we have a friend, Barry. Remember our buddy Barry Covino?
Of course. He
Barry,
smelled like weed all the time.
He was convinced. I go, dude, you just got a brand new car and you're smoking cigarettes and weed in your car? And he's like, yo, it doesn't smell, bro. I'm like, you don't think?
It smells like an ashtray.
Come on.
It's because he's been in it.
Come
So,
on,
like, he
dude.
doesn't understand.
Rocky in Stockton, California. What's up, Rock?
Hey, man, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're on.
Hey, man, yeah, just wanted to say, get it out of the way before anything. You guys, I'm not to be kissing ass or anything, but you guys are great. You guys are doing the best show on the radio. Just want to put that out there.
Oh, thank you, man.
Means a lot, man.
Yeah, no problem. This was like back in the early '90s when I was a kid, man. When our very first night we moved into this new house, and our neighbors came to our house. A couple tried to sell us a Thanksgiving turkey. I mean, we're not even done loading the anything yet. They're trying to sell us the turkey. My dad turned them down. They turned around and asked to borrow money. They didn't even know us.
Wow. You know, what? You want a turkey?
I turned
Got some money?
Yeah, I mean, they should have known. We should have known what was to come because the whole time there, they lived next to us. They would just constantly come over, ringing the doorbell, asking to borrow this, that, and the other. Even money. It's like, man, come on. We don't even know you people. What the hell's going on here?
Guys, I need you to tell me now. Perspective changes as you get older. Can we play a quick round to wrap this? Can we play a round of was I the bad neighbor or were they the bad neighbor?
I love this topic, by the way. I'm getting all riled up over here. I'm getting all hot and bothered.
Please, let's be real here. When I was a kid, in my mind, Vinny was a bad neighbor. This old Italian guy. You know why? Because anytime the kids in the neighborhood would play tackle football, he would put his sprinklers on so that no one would go on his lawn. But now as an adult, I'm like, were we the bad neighbors for going on his lawn? Or was he the
kids?
Or was he the bad neighbor? Like if we were playing wiffle ball, anything there where we'd go near his property, he'd just crank on the sprinklers purposefully to disrupt the game. Or if we were playing street football, where the curbs are the sidelines essentially.
I think he's the
jerk. He would
but
park there so we wouldn't play.
Rich, as an adult, you totally understand now. Come on.
Dude,
if you saw a bunch of kids from the neighborhood playing on your lawn, you would have a flip out.
Dude, my childhood was spent playing team hide and seek. We called it manhunt, which sounds weird as an adult now. Manhunt. A game some may still play. But we played manhunt, team hide and seek. Do you know any neighbors I probably stepped in their flower beds and stuff? If a kid stepped on my roses right now, I would punch a kid.
The flowers I get, but when we were just throwing a football around on somebody's green grass.
Yeah, I wouldn't care. Honestly, if they were neighborhood kids and they went on my lawn because they were playing football and the ball would go on my lawn, I wouldn't care. But there were neighbors. Everyone had that neighbor where if
it went in their backyard.
If they went in their yard, they're like, it's mine.
Yeah.
Everybody had that neighbor.
We had a neighbor in Rialto, California. If one of our balls went in his backyard, he took a buck knife out and popped the ball. While we were
a hater.
Yeah,
man.
while we were watching, like he made sure to have eye contact and then whoop.
What a mean
That's
guy.
horrible, dude.
Sounds like out of a TV show, Danny. You look at me, kid. Pop.
Like, I get that, like, you're ruining someone's grass, you're messing up their sod. Like, let's say they put a lot of time into their grass. Like, if you're the kids, maybe you ask permission if you can play in their yard, or, like, you should clear that. I understand where he's coming from.
I have one funny story. My one of the moms at the school that my wife and I are friendly with, they caught someone on the Ring doorbell constantly letting the dog go to the bathroom on their lawn.
Oh, that's the worst.
And they
dude.
confronted.
I'm sorry.
They confronted the person with video. Like, here's you and your
dog. It's like an episode of Cheaters.
Like, here's you and your dog. Your dog is squatting like near my porch, and the woman was like, "No, not my dog. It must have been a coyote." And it's like, the video.
Gaslighting.
I have in my hand.
You know what I used to hate too, Rich? I confronted neighbors because, and I'm not looking for trouble. I'm just a chill, straight man. I'm just a chill guy. I had neighbors that would always throw their dog's poop in a bag and but never really tied in my garbage cans when they were on the street.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but dude, what would happen is they would smush on the bottom of the can. And it would be disgusting, all because they'd be throwing their stuff in my can. How are you okay with that?
That's fair game.
That's not fair.
Is the trash going out, or has it already been emptied? If it's empty, do not throw it in there.
By the way,
yeah, but that just
you're right.
Also,
you know
tie
how
the bag.
gross they get?
Tie the bag.
It would be so gross every time because they would use my garbage can.
It smells if you don't tie the bag.
I was Sam's right. There's a right answer and a wrong one. If the garbage had been picked up and your empty can's waiting to be pulled back, you don't put your dog poo in there.
That's what I mean. It'd be on the bottom of the can all the time.
If garbage comes Friday morning and someone's walking their dog Thursday night and the cans are out,
it's fair game.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Exactly.
Deal. All right. Let's take one quickie. Wallace in North Carolina. We haven't talked to Wallace in a while. What's up, man?
Hey, Wallace. What's up? Say hi to Gromit.
What's up?
First, I want to say y'all make my ride home enjoyable every night.
Oh, thanks, man.
So, I live in a house in a community. I have a house. People are 250 yards away from me in the next house. New neighbors move in. I smoke cigars. They come over the first day they're in there and tell me I can't smoke cigars on my backpack because they can smell it.
2 football fields
I
away.
told him,
and
well,
then 2 football fields away, and they're
said-
busting your chops.
Yes. So I said, well, that's fine. I said, I'll see what I can do about it. That week, the first weekend, I invited every person I knew to come smoke cigars on my back deck.
That's so funny.
Thank you. Thank you, Wallace. Wallace.
That's a beautiful thing, and I think again he has every right. It's his home.
Yeah.
When you live in an HOA sort of situation, that's the nightmare because there's not a whole lot you could do about that when people complain about things like that.
Well, you know what? Lots of great phone calls, lots of great feedback. In fact, hit us up at Covino and Rich, and I'll urge you until we become the most stream show on the network. I'm going to keep telling you, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. Follow the YouTube. We're streaming every day live, so you can watch what you're listening to. And again, we got more next right here, Thursday, Fox Sports Radio.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes. I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Joe. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable. He made the right call. You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes.
Who wants some?
bigger,
bolder,
better.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all's show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct. 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Hey, it's good to be back at our normal slot, 5 to 7 on the East, 2 to 4 on the West.
Yeah.
In for Dan Patrick Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're in for Dan Patrick again tomorrow. So please remember to follow the podcast because I don't want you guys missing out. We've been having a lot of fun. Hope your week's going well, and I hope the kids are having a great first day back to school out on the West Side.
Hey, is it odd that much like sports, Covino and I are oddly competitive, and I want to make sure our show has the most viewed YouTube stream. So, again, if you enjoy the show and our stupid antics every day, just do us a quick favor. It's free. I'm not asking you to buy something. I'm not involving you in a pyramid scheme or telling you to buy, Are you going
to have me start bribing the YouTube subscribers?
What did your mom? Your mom always had a friend that would make her buy, like, Skin So Soft or the Avon lady. We're not asking you to buy anything.
We're not selling you Skin So Soft, Tupperware, Cutco knives, or anything like that. We're not selling you Swampland. Yeah, we're telling you to hit one button and to send it to your buddies. It's free. You can see our show live in studio.
That's
we take
the
you behind the
downside.
scenes.
Yeah, listen, I wanted to add
Funny.
another 1,000 new people today. So, again, youtube.com/@Covino and Rich FSR. Thank you in advance. I appreciate all the support. You guys are great here to us at Fox Sports Radio. Now, Covino, before we get to Denzel Washington, we were talking about like the worst neighbors and bad neighbors. That was our throwback conversation. A lot of great feedback there. We were just saying how, like, wherever you live, sometimes there's a reason why that really sweet apartment is available, because there is some weird rub like, oh, the lady that lives upstairs is a wackadoo. Like, sometimes when something seems too good to be true, that might be the reason. Man, this house has been on the market. How did no one scoop it up? And then you realize the next door neighbors, like you said, are part of a motorcycle gang.
Yeah, they're shooting guns out of their house saying,
Yeah.
"Get out of Moss Town!" Woo-hoo! Yeah, it was horrible. So, worst neighbor ever out of California. Neighbor from hell. Follow the story. We'll take one last call. We'll talk Denzel. 877-99 on Fox. At Covino and Rich on social media. Who do we got, Danny G?
Let's say, how do you do to Andy in Mississippi?
He says
Andy.
he says he was the bad neighbor.
Oh, that's, self-awareness is good. What's up, Andy?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's up, bro?
Hey, I was in my mid-teens. My dad built a concrete dog run for my dog, and I'd have to go out there and spray it with a water hose to get the pee off. And then this is back when they had paper grocery bags, and I'd take 2 of those and put the poop in there. Well, I got sick of doing that. I'm thinking, why don't I just throw it over the fence? Well, I picked the wrong fence. I should have picked the fence that was in our property. But I did our mutual fence with our neighbors, and about a week or so goes by. Their kids were probably under 10, and so you've been picking up that, taking care of Kelly? And I was like, yeah. It's like, well, doing the poop, taking it to the trash, yeah. Can you tell me why the neighbors' kids have freaking dog shit on their feet?
What a great call, but you dropped the S word. You can't do that, but hey, great call.
You can hear the pod.
To hear what he said next, catch the pod. Search Covino and Rich for every stream of your podcast.
Or on the YouTube stream, because we can't edit that.
Right.
See, look at that. If you want to hear what he said, YouTube. Hey, I want to move. I want to move on from Poop Fest.
Again. If you want to hear what Andy said next,
Could I, Cove? Could I?
It was a good story, though.
Could I make one last rule before we get to Isaac and our Denzel story? Based on the fact that we all want to be good neighbors, right? If you are getting work done, if you are having a landscaper,
like butt implants.
Yeah, if you are getting work done, like a BBL. Now, if we're redoing the pavers in our backyard, right? If you're getting some landscaping work done, or a new garage door. What is the rule? Should you give your neighbors the heads up, like, hey, just to be a neighborly neighbor?
Never hurts. Just
like,
it
hey,
doesn't hurt. I don't think you have to.
Hey, Saturday, we're gonna have some construction workers over. Pardon me in advance. I think
that goes a long way.
It goes a long way, because then they won't be a pain in the ass if they do make noise. It's like if you warn your parents. If you warn the neighbors, like, hey, we're gonna have a party. We might be a little loud. It's a graduation party. They'd be less inclined to be an ass to you if you give them a heads up. Or invite them over for a drink. Your neighbor's never going to complain if you say, hey, we're having a cookout. Why don't you swing by for a drink? Guess what that neighbor won't do? Call the cops if you're loud.
Hey, Rich, I'm moving in next door, okay? I'll be a great neighbor. I'll be
You're a
over
great
all the
neighbor.
time.
My neighbors are selling their house soon, and it is a fear of mine. I'm not going to lie.
But, dude, you got to be a real stick in the mud tight ass to want to call the police or complain when people are just having a good time. If they're celebrating a quinceañera or Hank's retirement party. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What did Hank do to you?
Dude, there was a quinceañera in my neighborhood, and it was like right behind my house. They had a full-on mechanical bull that I could see from my patio, a Mexican DJ. They had like 800 people there. My only complaint was that I wasn't invited.
Yeah, see,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, and we all know you. You love the tortas. All right, let's let's go to Lowencroft for an update, and then a great clip from Denzel Washington talking about sports media. What's up, Isaac?
Fellas, the Florida State Attorney's Office has declined to file charges against Cleveland Browns rookie running back Quinshon Judkins after he was accused of misdemeanor battery last month. Meanwhile, a grand jury in Collin County, Texas, has declined to file charges against former Texas receiver Isaiah Bond after he was accused of sexual assault in April and subsequently was not selected in the NFL draft. A short time after that, Bond announced on social media that now that he's been cleared, he is signing with the Cleveland Browns. Elsewhere, Los Angeles Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh announced that Justin Herbert will start at quarterback on Saturday against the Rams and play a series or two. It'll be Herbert's first career preseason appearance.
Horrible idea.
Sorry, guys. I've been bothered by a little chest cold recently. Anyway, in Major League Baseball, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s 2-run home run at the bottom of the 7th inning gave the Toronto Blue Jays a 2-1 win over the Chicago Cubs. And finally, guys, in NBA statue news, the Los Angeles Lakers announced today that they will unveil a statue of former head coach Pat Riley outside of Crypto.com Arena prior to a game next February against, of course, the Boston Celtics. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Isaac. And by the way, for people watching
Thanks,
on
Isaac.
the YouTube stream, Isaac, I had no clue your first radio station was KKTY. Sweet T-shirt. I acknowledge.
I did sports talk with Slater.
Yeah,
we were the Covino and Rich of Bayside High School.
KKTY, Tiger Radio. Isaac's got the throwback Saved by the Bell shirt. I noticed that. I like it. All right, listen, we got more Covino and Rich. And Denzel Washington calling us out, calling out sports media. We'll play the clip. We'll explain next right here. It's Fox Sports Radio, Thursday. Let's go.
All right. DJ Sammy Sam on the ones and twos. Danny G super producing. Spots on the videos. Again, at YouTube, or should I say youtube.com/@CovinoRichFSR. And now it's time for a new job? No. It's time for Express Employment Pros to quit the endless online job search.
Yeah.
Enlist the pros, and Express never charges job seekers a fee. Thanks again to ExpressPros.com. It's actually time for the Express Pros Pro of the Week.
Ooh.
And, Rich, this is unprecedented.
Oh.
This is a first, because it's not just an Express Pro of the Week. It's the Express Pros of the Week. The winner is the Milwaukee Brewers, the entire team.
The whole
They're your
squad?
pros of the week because, again, 76-44, a team with a small payroll that's just in fuego right now, slaying it in 12 in a row. You got to tip your hat. Mine's a Yankee hat, a very frustrated Yankee hat, wishing that our teams were doing what they're doing. And they caught magic, they caught fire, and we're just sitting here like, wow, man, that's what chemistry looks like. They're your Express Pros of the week, and they deserve it.
All right. Now, before we get out of here, there was a clip that I think it would be fun conversation. Denzel Washington speaking his truth about sports media. Take a listen to The Best Actor Ever.
I've been a Cowboy fan since the 60s.
Ooh.
He's making it hard for me. Not to be a fan, because I'm still a Cowboy fan. I'm still going to have the star on the side of the hat. But he ain't thinking about us. He's thinking about his pocket.
Okay. I mean,
says it all.
Get Jerry Jones on the phone.
Get him on the phone. What does he say? You tell me. What does he say?
He says that
he's
talking
getting
about
rich.
My Cowboys, we're the most successful brand in sports. You know,
You mean in terms of what, championship?
No, of course he can't say championship. Can't say championship. He's
talking about?
talking about recognition, notoriety, dollars and cents.
In sports?
I said, but in the end,
More than the Yankees?
You haven't been in an NFC championship game or a Super Bowl in 30 years. 30 years, okay? And for some reason, he's just stubborn, man. And then you got his son sitting there talking about Michael Parsons, like, hey.
All right, well, hold on. This is not the exact Denzel clip that.
No, this is not the clip I heard. Because the clip that we're talking about, and I'm not sure, we maybe labeled it wrong. That's the wrong Denzel clip. He went off talking about how.
Why don't you pull Shep Smith for a second?
I'm sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. Won't happen again.
One of my favorite moments ever.
When Shepard Smith made a retraction, it was the weirdest thing ever. Look it up on YouTube. Won't happen again, but it might. However, he went off on talking heads.
Oh, we have it now?
Yeah. Somebody,
sports.
I'm sorry about that, guys. Somebody labeled it incorrectly. We got the right one.
It's okay, but he went off on what he calls opinionaires. Take a listen.
There's box office and there's Oscars. Jerry, been a while, huh? You ain't been to the show, you wouldn't know.
Ooh.
Haven't been to the show, so you wouldn't know what it is to win. No. All money ain't good money, Jerry.
Is that wrong, too?
He had a lot to say. We'll just say that. So just sum up what he was trying to get to.
Okay, so what he says is those who can't talk about it, why don't you implying the media, I thought he was talking about guys like Stephen A. Smith primarily.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you become great at something? Because all you're doing is talking about it. And he goes on to say that everybody has an opinion nowadays, and I'm sick of it and I'm fed up with it. And even as a broadcaster, Rich, I feel what he's saying. Like, he's talking about people like you and I. But what makes you and I different, I think, is that we don't claim to be the experts. Yeah, we have opinions, but we're not saying they're gospel.
But we
when
make
in
fun.
fact,
We make
it's
fun.
impossible to know.
We make fun of the people that think they know everything, because it's wildly funny to me that come every NFL season, every Friday before we get into a weekend of college football and NFL football, you and I, much like everyone else, we'll talk about, what games are hot, what picks we think are fun. But we always claim that, we're really just guessing. Some don't act like they're guessing. Some act like they know. And if they knew, then they'd be billionaires, because the best gamblers in Vegas and the best odds makers are hitting at, slightly over 50%?
But it's getting to the point now where people are fed up with that. And he even says everyone's got an opinion sitting around getting fat he calls people out.
I
He goes,
love it.
I think people should check their opinions. Denzel Washington.
I think we have it now, and if we don't, then you fooled me 3 times. So let's play
Third
it now.
time's a charm.
All right, here we go. Okay. Opinionaires.
Now, I've said this for years. Opinions are like podcasts and stinkholes. Everybody has one, and most of them stink. Everybody has one, and most of them stink. It's like your opinion is no better, really, than anyone else's. And that's the problem, I think, with sports media today. I think people act like they know when they don't, and it's starting to turn people off, people like Denzel Washington. So I'm not taking it personal. I feel like what you and I do is very different, but I think people are getting tired of the screaming talking heads acting like they know everything.
Well, you know what it is? I think people are sick of, I like to think, not guys like us who keep it more light and fun. I think it's the sports analysts and podcasters and shows that speak in absolutes and then say things like, I told you, and then they go bragging about the one prediction they got right. We have people like that on the network. It happens. It's,
right.
I mean, so, hey, I agree with Denzel, and we could wrap it with that, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning. In for Dan Patrick. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.